If you've been researching Las Cruces for more than 5 minutes, you're probably found videos from like 21, 22, maybe even 2020, and they're all telling you the same things. Affordable, sunny, great place to retire, right? And even though some of that is still true, but some of it has changed, and nobody's giving you the updated, honest picture for 2026. That's what this video is. I've lived here for over 30 years. I was born and raised here. I am a local realtor, and I'm going to walk you through what it actually costs to live here right now, what daily life actually looks like, and what's shifted in this city recently. So you can make a decision based on real information instead of outdated data. I believe I'm a realtor. I've also lived in other bigger cities. I promise you, it's not like I was born here and never left anywhere else. I have a real frame of reference for what people are leaving behind when they come here. My whole brand is built around telling you the truth, even when it's not what you want to hear. So let's get into it. By the way, guys, it's super windy outside, but I love the outdoor natural lighting, so we're sticking with it, okay? Let's start with the number one thing everyone wants to know. What does it actually cost to live here in 2026? And here's the honest answer. Las Cruces is still one of the more affordable cities in the country, but it's not as cheap as it was 3 or 4 years ago. Prices went up everywhere else, and they went up here too. And I want you to go in with the accurate expectations. Overall, the cost of living here runs about 10% below the national average. That's real, that's meaningful. But let me break down where you actually feel that difference and where you don't. Let's start with what people expect versus what they actually find when they get here. Most people researching the city have seen the headlines. Affordable Southwest city, low cost living, great for retirees, and they show up expecting everything else to feel just as cheap. That's where their surprise happens. Because Las Cruces feels affordable compared to major cities, but it doesn't feel cheap in every single way. And there's a difference. Here's where it genuinely wins. Housing is still where Las Cruces head most. The median price right now is sitting right around 300,000 to about 325,000. So if you're coming from California, where the median is pushing 800,000 or more in most states, that it's immediate. Even compared to Phoenix or Denver or Austin, you're looking at significantly less for a comparable home. That gap is real and it matters. Property taxes here are also relatively low compared to most states. New Mexico's property tax rates are some of the more affordable in the country, which adds up in a meaningful way if you're coming from a state like California or Texas, where property taxes can be brutal. That's money that's staying in your pocket every single year. Insurance is another one that may surprise you in a good way, because Las Cruces doesn't deal with like the hurricane. It doesn't deal with like the flooding of the coastal cities. Wildfire risk is still fairly low, a lot lower than in the West. So your homeowner insurance tends to be a little bit more manageable than what people are used to paying. When you add up property taxes, insurance together, those monthly costs of owning a home here look even better than the purchase price already suggests. Now, on new construction, builders are still offering incentives right now to move inventory. Rate buy-downs, closing cost assistance, upgrade packages. If you're open to a new construction, there are real deals available, especially in some of the Northeast developments. That's worth knowing if your buying window is right now. Rent is fairly reasonable, averaging between $1,300 and $1,500 for an actual home. Utilities run about 20% below national average, which matters when you're cooling a house through a desert summer. Gas is around $4 a gallon. I just went to the gas station, so that's not cheap right now. But these are the numbers that make the difference in the lifestyle. Now, here's where I want to be straight about what has gone up. Groceries. Up, same as everywhere else. You're looking at prices pretty close to a pretty national average. It used to be a more noticeable difference, and it's still slightly below, but don't expect dramatic cheaper grocery bills. Healthcare is the one category where Las Cruces does not win. It runs about 11 to 13% above national average. If you have significant medical needs and you're comparing this as part of the retirement calculation, factor care is good. We have solid hospitals and we have a good amount of specialists here, but the cost is higher than the overall affordability picture might lead you to expect. And this is basically because we have very limited competition. In bigger cities, you have plenty of places to go, and that keeps things a lot lower. Here you have 2 hospitals, 3 actually. So prices don't get pushed down the way they do in other cities. Bottom line is the people who feel the most financial relief when they move here are the ones coming from high coastal markets. The housing savings alone can be life-changing for those buyers. So if you're from a mid-sized, affordable city in the Midwest, the difference is going to feel smaller. Know what you're comparing against and run your numbers before moving. Don't just take the headline cost of living index at face value. Let me give you a more specific picture of the housing market right now, because this is where things get shifted most or the last few years. Las Cruces saw the same pandemic era run up that most cities did. Prices climbed, inventory got tight, buyers were competing hard. We're past that peak, and the market has come back to something more stable, which is actually good news if you're buying right now. Right now, homes are sitting on the market longer than they were at the height of the frenzy. We're talking 60 to 80 days on the market average for many properties, which gives buyers actual negotiating. That was not the case at 21 and 22. Inventory has increased, which means you have more choices. Sellers need to be more competitive. If you're a buyer coming into this market in 2026, you're in a better position than buyers were 2 or 3 years ago. Interest rates are still a factor. Rates are running just over 6% for well-qualified buyers right now, which is way higher than the pandemic lows, but not historic. And buyers are still offering incentives on new construction to help offset that. What does your money get you right now? Roughly speaking, 280 to 350 range, you're looking at a solid resale home in established neighborhoods. 3 bedrooms, good bones, maybe some very minor updating. Get into a brand new home with that as well. But the 350 to 450 range, you're getting into a new construction home with way more amenities. Areas like in Sonoma Ranch on the northeast side. Now above that 450K range, you're in the higher end of the market. Custom builds, larger lots, best views range. The value compared to comparable cities is still there. That has not gone away. But you need to come in with current expectations, not expecting what 2020 brought us. Okay, numbers aside. What does a normal day actually look like in Las Cruces in 2020? Probably something like that. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. I want to paint a real picture because I think this is what people actually need to understand before they come in. You wake up and the first thing you notice, especially if you're coming from a big city, is that there's no traffic. I mean that almost literally. Average commute here is under 20 minutes. You can get from one side of the city to the other in about 25 minutes on a bad day. That alone changes the quality of your life daily in ways people don't fully appreciate until they experience it. You go get coffee, you have local spots, we have chains, we have the full range. Nothing you're going to be stressed about. Grocery stores are accessible in every part of town. You've got your major chains, you've got local options, you've got the farmer's market, if that's your thing. Errands that would eat an hour and a half out of your day in a bigger city take you 30, 45 minutes here. Lunch or dinner, the restaurants scene is not the biggest, but we have genuinely great, especially in New Mexico, which you will either fall in love with or be confused by. Green chili is its own food group. It's an everything. And I say that proudly. I absolutely love it. But if you need a Michelin-starred restaurant or a different world cuisine option every night of the week, you're going to feel very limited here. The variety exists, it's just a lot smaller. Evenings in Las Cruces are quieter than most people coming from things are very calm. If that sounds like relief to you, great. If it sounds like it's boring, that's important information. Weekends here are outdoor weekends, hiking at the Oregon Mountains, golf course, winery, White Sands Missile Range, farmers market. If you like being outside, you will never run out of things to do. If you need a packed social calendar of events, the nightlife, you are going to feel it. The people here are genuinely friendly. That sounds like a cliche, I know, but it is one of the things that people mention the most after they move here. It is one of the things that I miss the most when I moved away. There's a community feel to the city that larger metros have completely lost. Your neighbors know your name. Local business owners remember you. It takes some getting used to if you live somewhere more transactional for a long time, but most people come to really value it. The pace is slower. Service is slower. Things move at a different speed here. That is not a flaw. It is a characteristic of this place. The people who fight it are the ones who struggle. People who lean into it are the ones who end up never wanting to leave. So what's actually new or different in Las Cruces compared to a few years ago? The city is growing slowly, steadily. Development on the north side. More construction, communities, more upcoming businesses. It doesn't feel like a boom town. It feels like a city that's maturing at its own pace, which is very on brand for Las Cruces. Cost of everything has gone up. Las Cruces is not the secret cheap city it once was pre-pandemic. Still affordable relative to most places people are moving from, but locals have felt the price increase. The house market has shifted from a frenzy to something more balanced. That's actually a positive development for buyers who felt priced out or rushed a couple of years ago. You have more time, more choice, more negotiation. What hasn't changed is the weather, the sunsets, the access to the outdoors, the community, the lack of traffic, and the fundamental lifestyle that makes people fall in love with this place. I think that's worth saying clearly because the core of what Las Cruces offers has been constructed. So who is Las Cruces genuinely the right fit for in 2026? Retirees who want to stretch their retirement savings without sacrificing their quality of life. The cost of living advantage is still real. The weather is excellent for year-round outdoor activity. And the pace of life here matches what most people actually want in retirement, even if they haven't admitted it to themselves yet. Remote workers who realize they don't have to pay San Diego or Austin rent anymore. If your income travels with you, Las Cruces is one of the best kept secrets in the Southwest for quality of life per dollar spent. People who are tired of traffic, tired of the cost, tired of feeling like the city's running that instead of the other way around. Las Cruces has a way that marks life. That's not market language. It is what I hear from people who moved here and stayed. That's how outdoor people, golfers, hikers, wine people, anyone who wants sunshine, doesn't care about a little bit of wind, and want access to some of the most beautiful landscapes in the country without paying California price tag for it. If you are someone who needs constant stimulation, a dense social scene, a big city career infrastructure, or even proximity to a major metro, this is probably not your city. And I'd rather tell you that now than you have to figure out 6 months after you've moved here. But if what I have described in this video sounds like a version of life you actually want, Las Cruces in 2020, link is in the description. Drop your questions in the comments too. I read everything and I answer as many questions as I can. Subscribe if you want some more honest content about the city. I put out a new video. I try every week, guys, and I promise you, you will never hear from me just what you want to hear. I'll see you on the next one.